Hello and welcome to the latest cartoon commentary. It's a Christmas commentary. Batman, the animated series, or I guess more specifically, the new adventures, the new Batman adventures. Taking a look at the Christmas episode from that show called Holiday Nights, original air date September 13th, 1997. And for this commentary, I'm joined by Eric from the Isle of Man. How you doing?
Good evening. I'm doing great. Thank you.
And also joined by Adam from Memphis, Tennessee. How you doing, Adam?
Doing great.
That's my Andy Kaufman impression, just to be clear. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee.
Where's Jerry Lawler when you need him, right?
I know. Slap across the face. So easy episode to find. Took me all of 7 seconds to find it on the internet. So just do a search if you want to watch along with us or just listen along podcast style. I'm not sure if this is ever actually... It's part of the complete series, right? The Batman animated complete. It's weird because it's part of New Adventures. So is New Adventures a new show, or is it the original show just, for legal reasons added new to the title? I don't know. But anyway, it's not hard to find.
It's still glorious.
Yeah.
Right.
It's the exact same show. It's the same animation, same intro, same everything. And, a big reason that we're doing this is, to pay tribute to Kevin Conroy, a.k.a. Batman. So I already had the utmost respect for Mr. Conroy. And upon his passing, it's really made me realize that he was my Batman. So like I said in that video I did recently, the perfect castings, there are a lot of people who have played Batman, but there's one guy who was Batman. He was Vengeance, he was the Knight, he was Batman. So this is going to be great to watch an episode with Kevin Conroy as Bruce Wayne and Batman. And I'm not sure how much holiday cheer is going to be in this. About as much as the Batman animated series will allow. I guess, but this is going to be cool. So we're all queued up here at 0 on whatever method you're watching this episode. Here's your countdown. It's going to be 3, 2, 1, play. As I say play, you're pressing that play button. 3, 2, 1, play. Bugs Bunny. That was I don't know if that would happen today. Like someone would be sitting there in the production meeting going, I don't know if Bugs should be introducing this show. We're going for a different tone here. And that theme song.
Yeah, there's nothing like it.
And it is the Burton Batman Keaton theme,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it's the Elfman theme, yeah.
Oh.
I think it was essentially re-recorded and rearranged by Shirley Walker.
Okay.
But it is based on the Elfman theme.
It was a cool way to introduce people to the show. If they were coming off the big rush of the Michael Keaton 89 Batman movie, it's like, well, what is this cartoon? How good could the cartoon be? Well, it's pretty darn good. I'd say the cartoon nails the tone of the Burton movies perfectly, if not tops it.
I remember the first episode of this aired in prime time, at least where I lived in Sacramento. And hearing about it, and you have a different idea of what animation is going to look like, and seeing the opening sequence of this, and it was like, what am I watching? This is amazing. I mean, it really stood out. It was like nothing else.
Yeah, same for me. It looked great, and I remember the I guess promotional commercials or whatever for it when it was coming out, and I was totally into the Batman movie, the 89 and Batman Returns. And so when this came out, I was very excited.
The darkness of the animation is always jumps right at me because I watch and have watched so much animation. I'm used to the bright, fun animation, and this show is famous for being drawn on black background instead of white. So it's like the darkness is seeping through the cell as they're photographing it.
Yeah. And was this the first time they really started pushing that Ivy Harlequin relationship? I mean, that kind of like that duo that they established, right? Wasn't this the first episode of the animated series that did that?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have they changed Bruce's look a little bit here?
Yeah, in this fourth season, the characters were slightly redesigned. They had a little bit more of a really definitive Paul Dini look to him.
And I just wonder if his eyes are a little paler than they used
I
to
think
be.
so. Yeah.
Not sure.
May we give you a ride, Mr. Wayne?
No thanks. I have my own car.
I just love his Bruce Wayne.
Well, that's what's so great about Kevin Conroy too, is the difference between his Batman and his Bruce Wayne. It was just perfect.
Mm-hmm. He's the one when the debates come up about who was the best Batman, and there's some people who will automatically disqualify him because they say, well, that's animated. He didn't really play Batman. He wasn't in the suit. But I disagree with that. I think his performance is just as much of a performance as any of the live action ones. But I've done it myself when I was arguing over who the best Batman was. I like Bale as Batman, but not necessarily the best Batman and Wayne. Whereas Conroy to me is the tops for both of them. He's like Christopher Reeve was to Superman and Clark Kent. Like he just got them both perfectly. There's no tweaking, or maybe he should have done this as Batman, like we do with Bale. You know, like Bale shouldn't be so growly as Batman. Or Conroy just was perfect, and he's the one to copy, I would say, going forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love this kind of cheesecakey, kind of tongue-in-cheek sequence. It's wonderful.
The Bewitched
intro. Well, what a great way to kind of establish these two characters, kind of a semi-adversarial friendship. It's really funny. What's great too is this whole series is still very firmly before everything. You know, computers were used for everything.
His signature
you can see how he's pained. It's like,
the vengeance is coming out.
Yeah. Well, it says something to the quality of the show too, that I think I would say unilaterally people will say that this is the definitive Batman, you know?
I didn't think so at first, but as the years have gone by, it is. I mean, it's just I've come to accept it, because that's what happens sometimes with some movies, right? It'll bomb, and then as the years go by, you realize Shawshank is one of the greatest movies ever made, even though it bombed at the box office. And you know, at the time I was watching the animated series on TV, and I liked the Burton movie. I loved Adam West, Batman 66. This was Batman, and I liked it because give me any Batman. But I thought, man, it's a little dark. But now later on, I realized, well, it's perfect. I just didn't get it. You know, it didn't connect with me at the time, but it does now in a big way.
Well, I remember thinking that this show was surprisingly emotional on a very deep level. Even when it was out, like this. So this show was out when I was like a sophomore, I think, in high school. This was on the air. I used to come home from school and I'd watch the show when it was on, and being surprised at really how mature the stories played often.
It has a very high emotional maturity for sure. And it's one of those shows that you look at it, especially the time it came out. Oh, it's a cartoon, right? How serious could it be? It's a kid's show. And it was on, I think, early in the morning. Was it?
In my area, it played at 4:30.
Oh,
was
okay.
On it,
after school.
Afternoon.
I remember it being after school.
After school, then.
Yeah, I think it was part of the whole Fox Kids thing, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, I would not recommend this for kids today, and definitely. I am very cautious with what I suggest to children. definitely don't watch some of the stuff I grew up on. I wouldn't let a kid watch Terminator or Aliens or anything like that, even though in the end the good guys win in those, which is important, and the good guy wins in this. But it's just, man, it's somber, and I think childhood is a time for joy and celebration, and this is just dark and heavy and somber. So I think it's a good teen show. It's definitely a great show for teenage angst. But I don't know if a 7-year-old should be watching this.
This is one of those shows that I think could have easily played primetime. You know, like they could have gotten away with playing this on like a, you know, a Sunday night or something like that. You know, like right after The Simpsons or something like that.
If this was live action, we would be talking about it today as still one of the greatest shows ever made.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. And they could really just take the scripts and make live action episodes of each one. There's really nothing that would have to be changed here, because there doesn't feel like there's ever a moment where it's like, oh, wah, that's a kid's moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the music is so amazing.
Looks like maybe Batman has a different grappling gun. I remember in the cartoon it was more of a square, kind of boxy looking thing, and that looked more rounded.
They changed a lot this fourth season. They changed his design up slightly. He looked a little bit more Dark Knight Returns, you know, with the large black symbol and the utility belt that looked like, you know, ammunition pouches or whatever. He looked a little bit more, I don't know, like I don't know, anachronistic, I guess, a little more utilitarian, perhaps.
Yeah. It didn't seem like a money grab, though. Like, this show is definitely not a toy commercial show at all. Like, this show seems like its priority was always the story that it was trying to tell instead of the merchandise it was trying to push. The merchandise just seemed like a bonus to it.
Well, they always had all those awful, like, you know, scuba dive Batman and
Arctic.
Astro Fire. It's just stupid things. And even when I was a kid, I hated that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Mint chocolate chip Batman.
Yeah.
Every time I see Gotham, I just think Chicago now, thanks to the Nolan movies.
Yeah.
Chicago is the perfect setting for real life Gotham.
Yeah.
You
smell like beef and cheese. You sit on a throne of lies.
Is that Bullock?
Yeah, I think it is. He was just referencing, like, aren't you Mad Dog's daughter?
Aw. That's sweet.
Can I buy something for my daddy too?
As long as it ain't a hacksaw.
See, that's not a kid's line.
Yeah, this is slipping the slightly little more mature jokes in, aren't they?
5-finger discount. What the clay face?
Yep.
I got to get the soundtrack to this show. This is exceptional.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
The
live action quality.
Yeah.
The soundtrack she did, Shirley Walker, for A Mask of the Phantasm is amazing. It's a great Batman soundtrack.
Oh, I didn't know you could do that. Separate into drones.
Yeah, I don't really remember that either.
Clayface is a villain that I still wonder if they could pull off convincingly in live action. It seems like it would be just ever so slightly too fantastic.
Yeah.
Like the Nolan verse kind of version. What would he have done with Clayface? Is what I was thinking.
Yeah, I'm thinking Marvel Sandman is basically they'd
Mhm.
have to CGI him, right?
Yeah.
But a realistic Nolan version,
Could it be just the actor that's really good at like making his face look different or something? You never know.
just some kind of disfigurement.
Mhm.
I can't imagine the mimicry being a thing.
Mhm.
I mean, look what he did with Joker. Just literally like a scar,
Yeah.
and then like the messiest face paint ever. Batgirl. Ooh. Man, the audio is amazing in this show. Real impact there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Everything is top notch. I don't think it's gonna matter on him.
Yeah.
Shoot the Santa!
You wouldn't.
Not you, dope. That's Santa.
Those little moments of levity are so important when your overall tone is somber. Like the sky is blood red.
Mhm.
It's not like beautiful sunset red. It's blood red. Well, is he fired now? Is that like a killing type of?
Yeah. He's solid.
Now he's The Rock. He's Dwayne Johnson.
Ho, ho, ho.
That's pretty funny.
I was just saying earlier, there's no wah moments, and there was literally a wah horn cue.
Yeah.
Was that Tecmo Bowl for a Nintendo? Oh, it's Luke Skywalker. Do you guys remember how before you could be like basically a rock star voice actor? Voice acting used to be, it meant your career was in the toilet. So seeing Mark Hamill's name in the credits was like, oh no, oh poor Luke Skywalker. But now he's like, he might be just as famous for his Joker as for his Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
Amazing how things change over time.
Well, who was I can't remember which actor it was that was supposed to be Joker's voice, and he was in like one episode or something like that, and then they replaced him.
Yeah.
On the
Look that one
animated
up.
series?
Yeah, it was supposed to be another actor. I almost want to say it was somebody like David Bowie or something like that. But yeah, Mark Hamill just grabbed it and made it his own.
Tim Curry?
Possibly. I'm doing the old Google.
Yeah, it's saying after being hired to voice the Joker, he recorded at least 4 episodes
There you go. Yep.
Yeah.
because Hamill worked cheaper.
It's incredible. And here Hamill is basically the iconic voice of the Joker now. That's incredible.
Mhm.
I think he had a lot more fun with it too. Like not really knowing much about Tim Curry and how he feels about Batman. It just Mark seems like a guy who would have done it for free.
Yeah.
I really have to congratulate myself on this one.
That laugh.
Yeah, Hamill's one of those guys too. Even nowadays, when when you see him in interviews, he'd be like the kind of guy you'd want to hang out with. You just get the feeling he'd be a lot of fun.
He's never forgotten that he started as a fan, and he just doesn't have that celeb vibe to him.
Yeah.
He just, especially with that Pop Culture Quest show, it's like a shame to be speaking over Conroy because he's not in this episode much already. But yeah, Mark Hamill just seems like he's still as big a fan of the stuff he was a fan of as ever, and he just doesn't take himself too seriously or seriously at all.
Yeah.
I really like that Conroy's Batman is not that different from his Bruce. And there's really two Bruces. There's the facade Bruce. Hi, I'm Bruce Wayne. And then there's the real Bruce. And his real Bruce is pretty similar to Batman.
Yeah.
Well, that was one of the whole kind of tropes of Batman that I really liked that they played with in the latest movie was the idea of who was the disguise. Like he was, his vengeance persona was really who he was. And it was like the whole movie was about him learning to be Batman and the distinction between Batman and Bruce Wayne. And then this is, I believe, the Tim Drake, right? Wasn't this Tim Drake Robin at this point?
Yeah, I believe so.
Ooh.
That was another thing that I always thought the animated series really pulled off well. Is animated series is where Robin actually seemed like he made actual sense, you know. And they pushed it a little bit with the kid here, but Dick Grayson's Robin in season 1 through 3 was really good.
I'm trying to remember if Dick Grayson as Nightwing ever made an appearance in this show.
Yeah, he does.
He does.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Nice catch, Batman. That's some slow electricity.
Slightly more Looney Tunes in some of these episodes, I think.
But he's standing there holding a pistol to Batman, and he's about to execute him.
Yeah.
It's funny because that's very similar to what happens in the Batman movie. Remember when he's climbing up the cathedral and the bell falls?
Yeah.
This is a great ending here. January 1st. Happy New Year to everyone watching this on New Year's.
I heard your buddy had a rough night.
Sounds kind of like Barney from The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Oh, we want to see.
Hey, Gordon. In through the outdoor. Yeah, that's another. And his arms wrapped up there. Sustained some damage.
Yeah.
And he paid. You gotta love it. I love that line. One of these days I'm gonna beat him to the check.
I love that idea of Batman disappearing. They have that awesome Funny or Die sketch on that. You ever see that one?
No.
Where he does that, and Gordon's looking around. He's like, "Wait, Batman?" And he's like hiding behind something. He's like, "What? Don't look over here. I'm the Knight."
Wow, it's a great episode.
Yeah, it really is. That's a classic.
I wasn't sure they were going to be able to pull off a Christmas episode, but I'd say that's exactly how you do it right there. Yeah. It wasn't schmaltzy, but at the same time, it wasn't too dark and serious and somber. And I love that just little brief encounter. Like, it's important that we have our coffee, even if it's literally for just a minute. I'm here, I showed up, and there we go. We kept the streak going.
Yeah, might have to add this one to my my holiday watch list, I think.
Yeah.
Right now, the Tick versus Santa is way up there for me.
Definitely got to do that someday. Yeah. So that is the Batman Christmas episode, and thank you all for listening along, watching along with us. Rest in power wherever you are, Kevin Conroy. And just want to wish a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everyone out there listening and watching along. And Adam and Eric, thank you so much for joining me today for this commentary as well.
Thank you, and Merry
Thank
Christmas,
you.
everyone.
Merry Christmas.
Take care, everyone. Nerdmas Day.
Nerdmas Day.
Deck the halls with